Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at what the treasury vault in the dwarfs' capital city of Feoberkana held within, and why Ainz Ooal Gown was so tempted to take a particular item from it. But before we are going to do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function who make one-time donations. Also please check out my other fantasy channel. Link to it is down in the description. Now with that said, the dwarfs' capital city of Feoberkana had been abandoned due to the devastating attack of one of the evil deities 200 years ago. This was also the reason why the then High King of the dwarfs left in order to join the 13 heroes, who, remember, were not only more than 13 people, but also comprised of many different species, from different humanoids such as dwarfs and elves, to undead heteromorphs like Evil Eye and many other beings. A dragon, or rather its armor, among them. And ever since that time, the dwarfs' capital city was too devastated to be inhabited, which is a detail that the anime sadly didn't transport it, because the storyline had been cut out from it entirely. Anyway, the now ruined capital city still held great treasures within it. While parts of it had been utterly devastated, the treasury vault did not only remain unharmed, but also sealed, which no doubt frustrated the greedy Olasir Dark to a great degree, since the Frost Dragon King undoubtedly tried to claw, bite, crush and freeze his way into the vault towards the treasures within. But eventually, over the years and decades, the dragon has learned that he wouldn't be able to break through the vault doors with brute force or magic alone. And thus, for over 200 years, the secrets of the vault remained untouched and unexplored, to the point where even now living dwarfs can't remember what was in it and what wasn't. And even if, for example, a disgruntled dwarven runesmith would take something out of it, the dwarfs couldn't prove or even be sure that the legendary item, the Book of the Runecraft, was within the dwarven vault to begin with. But aside from the Runecraft book Gondo Firebeard had taken with him, nothing else had been taken by Ainz Ooal Gown from the treasury vault of the dwarves. But this is not to say that Ainz Ooal Gown wasn't very close to doing so. I originally thought that the key Ainz Ooal Gown used to open the dwarves was the longsword that Ainz Ooal Gown had found, for it too was very elaborately decorated. So maybe, I thought, it was a light sword, emitting a blade of radiant light when activated. But apparently this is just the key, and therefore we didn't even see the longsword of the dwarf's treasury vault. And it was really quite sad, because the sword was really quite something. Ainz Ooal Gown felt the flow of mana through it instantly, and was also able to wield it despite the restrictions in place. For back in the first novel, it had been firmly established that Ainz Ooal Gown can't wield most melee weapons. That is, if he did not create them himself with magic. But in that case, they would be magical weapons, and therefore have different restrictions. Also, summoned magic weapons tend to be a bit brittle. And while weapons summoned by Ainz Ooal Gown are far more resistant than basically anything the New World can summon on the same way, even his first set of armor, which was magic in nature, had been damaged by Clementine, who was 30-something level-wise, and she deliberately sought out a strong point in order to inflict pain. So she might have been able to actually pierce the armor of a level 100 being, created by Ainz Ooal Gown's very own magic, if she had chosen a different point, or had put in more effort. And after Ainz Ooal Gown had dropped sword after sword, and after Nabaralgama had picked them all up, was pleasantly surprised that he could wield this longsword without any problems. It was light and yet elegant, and Ainz estimated the weapon to be around level 50, which granted is still a trash drop by Ainz Ooal Gown's very own standards, but yet he shouldn't be able to wield it. and it was so beautifully decorated that Ainz Ooal Gown couldn't help but praise it. And he's used to very rare level 100 weapons. And so, he also wanted to appraise this item by casting Greater Appraise item in order to learn the ins and outs of the weapon. But just as he was about to do so, Gondo Firebeard interrupted him, and Ainz had thrown the weapon back in the gold pile contained within the treasury vault. Now a level 50 item was basically unheard of, especially because the new world in this place was very weak and the dwarfs were in decline. And most dwarfs today couldn't even work with rarer ores from Yggdrasil, so either the sword was from Yggdrasil and got somehow in the treasury vault when the evil deities attacked, which I heavily doubt, since the vault remained sealed, or the dwarfs, back when they still had a king, were able to forge far better weapons. Or, and this is my favorite theory, that this weapon wasn't made by an Yggdrasilian tier magic user, but by wild magic. Hence why the restrictions Ainz Ooal Gown is used to from Yggdrasil simply do not apply to it, and Ainz, despite being normally restricted from wielding longswords, could actually wield the weapon and swing it without any problems. In any case, together with Razor Edge, this might be another incredibly valuable sword that Ainz Ooal Gown failed to take into his own possession. But perhaps another opportunity will arise. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, B There, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Thiralchivan, Guy with Dead Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jonna B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Normal Toad, Okill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pentum, Personage, Primus 11, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vashor Guy, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.